Hi, good morning. I'm going to switch watches again. Too casual. Nothing better than a classy vintage Rolex. Classy. Let me pull up the chat so I can see you. There we go. Yeah. There's the chat. Oh, I got the. Let me adjust the screen. Better. Turn up the mic a little bit. And I think we're good to go. So good morning. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 20,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance, because trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. My name is Wayne. How you doing? Hey, busy day. Yep, we got jobless claims that came out. Does it change anything? Oh, who knows? Who knows? Tomorrow's non-farm payrolls. Well, look at an extreme close-up. Extreme close-up. That's a little too close, huh? I wonder if I can adjust that. Let's see if I can, actually. Hang on. I think I could probably do it in this mode. Nope. Will it let me? Well, no, probably not. Let's see. Oh, it's probably this. That's the one. Will it let me configure video? Boom, 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 boom. I wonder if it'll let me while we're streaming. Doesn't look like it. Try one more time. Configure. No, I don't see. Oh, there it is. Actually, I can. All right, let's see if we can get this a little better. It's a little better, right? Still pretty close. Maybe more like that. Huh? Maybe a little more like that. All right, cool. So good. We got that fixed. Bring it on. Huh? Problem solvers. If you got a problem, I'll solve it. So, all right. So tomorrow's non-farm payrolls, I'll be over at the FX Street YouTube channel. Make sure you sign up for that. Today we can just kind of go through the charts. What do you think? Is there anything in particular you want to cover? So you have to look over there to see what you're doing. That's where if I'm talking to you, but over here I got to see what you're typing. So anyways. So you let you let Uncle Wayne know what you want to do. I will do my best to serve. I got to make this screen a little smaller, I guess. I got to make that screen smaller and this screen bigger. All right, cool. Okay. Oh, good. Thank you for typing all this in. The stock markets, that's a pretty obvious start, so we'll go there. I'm assuming you mean the United States of America, but if you want others, we can do that too. I drew this line in the sand yesterday, and I'm holding it. Okay, I'm holding it down. Isn't that neat? Okay, yesterday we had that, and there's a trap and break. So if you're a bear and you're doing a trap and break strategy, first of all, consider trying Investor Boot Camp for $88. I'll teach you how to trade. So there's a trap and break. Let's do this in black. Trap and break is either sell high or drag this one across. Okay. Okay, and so the cells are there. Huh? Tim says, what about relative strength? Oh, I would just use QuantBox for that. Easy. Okay. As a refresher, 1 week ago, Thursday, 1 week ago, we were down here, and our plan was to have it come up and sell at 5,100. Holy smokes, was that good, eh? Oh, for sure. So now with all this vol, it'll be interesting to see where it goes after. Will it kick off the 4-hour 21? Yeah, well, that's how I got this line. See how calm this is without all that volatility? Here's the trade plan if you're a bear. What's the big deal? Nothing. It's no big deal. Yeah. Cool. Can look at NASI. Same. So what's the trade plan for today? Well, I missed my entry, you see. Huh? You see? Splitting hairs. Oh, there's the sell. Oh my God, huh? 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Oh, man. Oh, man. What? Sucks, right? So close. Okay, so close. Okay, so now we're on the 4-hour 21. Look. Do you know how to trade? If you know how to trade, then you're preparing to either sell or not buy. Yeah. Depends on what you are. Are you a bull or a bear? If you're not sure, you should spend the rest of the day deciding if you're a bull or a bear. Okay? If you can't make the decision to be a bull or a bear, join QuantBox.co. If you don't have $80 a month to radically change the way you trade in a very positive way, if you don't have the $80, flip a coin. And now you've just decided to be a bull or a bear. And I mean for like at least 3 months. Some of you guys are flipping coins every day. No. That means every day you're random. If you flipped a coin 6 days in a row and always got heads, On the 7th day, what are the odds you're going to get heads a 7th time? 50-50. The rest is dumb luck. Okay? Yeah, some people think it's different. No, if you flipped it 1,000 times, or 10,000 times, or 1 million times, if you flip it 1 million times, it'll be 50-50. And there'll be lots of little streaks in there, but it'll be 50-50. Let's do some commodities. Okay. Bitcoin made its way down to an important price of 57,375. Okay. That's an annual pivot. What an amazing coincidence, right? So there's two ways of looking at it. Okay. You take a look at this trend, and of course this one here, which I've already done for you, and you say the trend is bearish. The second thing you do is you look for roll reversals, which I've already marked for you. Isn't it nice? I've already done all the work for you. Yeah, cool. So plan A is up and down. Plan B is up and then down. A, B. No, it didn't move, Tim. I had a busy morning. I just couldn't get to it. Yeah, things went awry. I didn't officially change it. I have a board meeting today, and I have a board meeting tomorrow, and these things just caught up with me. That's all. Yeah. That's what happens when you volunteer for charity, huh? It takes up your time. Okay. Yeah. You know, sometimes like when I work in a food bank for my contribution back to society, I like it, but it's very simple and modest. You're just bagging food or something like that. Right? And it's cool. I don't have any problem with it. I don't complain or anything. But I'm like, when I think about it, I'm like, anybody could do this. And everyone should be doing it. So I go usually with my family and my children, and, we're bagging cereal into little plastic bags, and it'll get sent out to families, right? And it's cool. And there's something nice about doing that with your children. But not everybody can manage the finances and the books of a charitable organization, or sit on their board, right? And volunteer that way to serve, and which takes a lot of thought and expertise and time. And so I tried to do that as much as possible as well. So in this kind of stuff, like today is a finance subcommittee meeting, so we're doing the money side of the business, right? And then I report to the board tomorrow, to the full board, not just to the finance committee. So anyways, kind of cool. It's a good way to give back. All right. So I hope everyone has some sort of nonprofit in your life. So WTI coming down based on what I see here, and I mentioned this, I don't know, a week ago, maybe Sunday. This is the price here, 78 to 70. There's kind of a glitch in here. So 76 to 78, I would think, would end up being the bottom. Surveillance says, hey, man, the Apple vol on its way. Yep. Yeah. We can go out to a higher time frame and just see what's what. And, we're through the 200 EMA now on the daily. Yeah, we're just through. Oof. The other thing I would eyeball is this as a support zone. So we're kind of lining all of this up. I think it's kind of late to start selling now, unless you're just kind of day trading it, a little skippy scalping it. But the pips or points or pennies, they're riskier now than they were before. Taking a look at gold. Okay. We're hung up on the 50, but the next drop is quite significant. Okay. Quite significant. Trend is continuing. That's why I have this here. Next lower low is interesting because I would color it up this way. This to me looks like an M3. So this is the target, 2150. So that would entail some interesting price action, right? Down, up, down, up, down. Right? So you would continue the primary resistance, if you're going to do a channel like that, is this way. I'd have to go further out to extend. It's really hard. All right, go back to a 4 hour. Okay. So to get the drawing tool again, you'd think some variation of that. I think you'd have more than that, but something to that level. Okay. If you believe the recovery is sooner, that's okay too. I'm just showing you, what you should already know. Okay, that's where the bears sell. And this is where the bulls buy. So if you were a bull, you're like, okay, dude, I think more like the 618. I have it marked as a 66. Doesn't matter. So let's do this in green, I suppose. So the other way to play it is, something like this. So that puts us our bottom at 22.55. Okay, and so if you're a bull, you would plan for that, and you would look for that around here, which is about a 618. Okay, and you would look for the turn here, and if you get it and you're already a bull, then you engage either Plan A, and I got to switch colors again. plan A at the double bottom or plan B at the higher low roll reversal. Okay. Isn't that nice? Ugh. Isn't that nice? How's the new Blazer? It's new. Tommy Hilfiger, I think. Yeah. Cut. It's cut tight. Can't gain any weight, otherwise it'll never fit. It's cut so tight. Cool. So maybe some down and then some up. All right. What else? We did WTI. We did gold. Do you want to do silver? Do you guys care about silver? We're young and stupid. Yeah, we're not too smart. Fall down the stairs. Get a nasty scar. Go ahead, ask my mother. She'll tell you I'm insane. And I love you, Wayne. All right, silver. Looks like the same chart. Look, I've already got it marked up. I've done all the work. So I look at it and same. So I would be in buyer mode if I was a bull. Okay. Yeah, she's down. She's down quite a bit this week. But like I said, on the 4-hour, we're approaching my buy zone. So 26, 25, whatever. So I'm going to sit here in this, $1 zone. And I'm waiting to be a bull. And now I'm done for the rest of the day. I can sit here and watch it. But I'm not going to sell it no matter what happens. And if it turns bullish on this 15-minute chart or even this 5-minute chart, I'm going to try. Okay? Boss mode. Extreme boss mode. Yeah. Okay, so I'm in my zone, and now I wait. I'm waiting to ambush. Okay? You're going to do better if you can control the situation. You don't want to randomly bump into your enemy and be ambushed. You're walking into a trap. So I'd rather be in the business of be the one setting the trap. The problem with a strategy like that is very often your enemy, your adversary, or your prey never shows up. So you can spend all your time hunting moose, but moose are dangerous, or whatever you eat, right? You spend all that time hunting big game, and very often it's very dangerous, right? It's a dangerous proposition to track down and attack a wild animal. So it's much safer to spend your time building traps, setting them up, and then the next day checking them, resetting them. Okay? Even if you didn't catch anything. But it's so much safer. And so that's kind of how you want to do trading and investing, is you're not attacking the wild animals one-on-one. You're setting up traps. And you spend most of your time waiting. But, right, it's the least dangerous. Okay, now going down on euro dollar, I believe our 4-hour plan, if we go to the 4-hour, is down. How do we know, or why do we think there's a chance or probability that this continues down? Okay, and it's not this. This is from earlier in the week. Okay, yesterday our assumption was up and then down for a couple of days. Why would we say up for a couple of hours and then down for a couple of days? What gives us the gall to make that decision? Sonars. And what do sonars tell us? Well, 66.7% in the past, when the Fed was paused, euro dollar, and we also looked at Kiwi, but euro dollar went up for a couple of hours and then down for a couple of days. And it looks a lot like that. If you attended yesterday, let me just sum it up. Traders was like unbelievably, amazingly accurate. You had to be there. In one case, and it might have been this euro dollar, it predicted 107.30 and it went to like 107.29. Something like that. Like we missed it by 1 or 2 pips. And it had made the prediction yesterday. Like, the day before the event. Like we knew it well in advance. And then it updated as you got closer and closer to the event. It updated the target. And it was really, really impressive. Let's just put it that way. And then the Kiwi dollar was another one. And I have it here on the 5-minute chart. Okay. This is, let's see. This is the selling price. As you can see, I have a down arrow. And it went up on the news, down on the scalp. Then it did it again, hit the target, came down. Then it hit it a third time, came down. Hit it a fourth time, came down. Hit it a fifth time, came down. Oh my gosh. And that's a 5-minute chart. Holy smokes. But again, you had to be there. And I'm going to try to zoom in here. I don't know if it'll let. But the predicted scalp based on the news event was, and I'm not going to be able to, let's see if I can turn this off. I might be able to drag it over. There we go. We said up. Okay. It came up. It came down. And that's the sniper trade. That's in my book. Then you have this one, which is the bayonet trade. And we literally talked about that in this event. But the amazing thing is, TradeDars had it coming to about, I think it was about here. Somewhere in there was like the predicted target. Well, it went a little higher. Yep. But it got the direction correct. And if you had taken the trade, the target was achieved. It just went up for another 15 or 20 minutes and then it collapsed. But we had the up, the down, and then the retracement was also there. I mean, it was really cool. So let me turn these back on. Okay. It's really cool. So I spent a lot of money on this, and the cool thing is I've analyzed it like crazy, obviously before, but then since every day I've been analyzing the accuracy of the technical analysis, and I'm stunned at how well it does, not just in the results, but I go through my process, and this is how I'll teach you how to do this right. If you know how to trade, and I have my way of trading, right? And I don't necessarily use patterns, but I do a process of trading. And so I will see its setups. Then I pick and choose the ones I like, and then I go to the chart, and then I do my analysis knowing what it thinks, and I get to the same or very, very similar conclusions using a completely different process. And to see that the machine and I agree, well, frankly, it's a little bit startling. Yeah. But I'm beginning to trust it immensely, more than I really thought. Okay? But anyways, so I've re-upped. I'm in it, all in. Yeah. I cut a, what do you call it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I cut a 5-figure check yesterday. So I'm in, man. Like, I'm way in. I'm in deep. Okay, this is going to be around a long time. We are going to use technology so that we can think and act big like an institution, even though we're small. Doesn't mean we have to trade like amateurs. Okay, that's risk on. We'll see if that occurs. $5 figures, huh? I could buy a car with that. Yeah, I could buy my son's car and my daughter's car. But instead, I've invested it into us. And I think that's exciting, huh? Okay, so your decision process here, let's do it this way, and I'll make it a little bigger. Okay, bears are in here. Bulls, okay, are in here. Who's going to win? Well, this is where you might want to look at the Commitment of Traders report being updated tomorrow. QuantBox is very helpful. It'll tell you the institutional positioning. The other way you could look at it is, are you risk on or risk off? And if you're risk off, the dollar is likely to strengthen. And risk off, China down, New Zealand down. So this would weaken, this would strengthen, and this pair would fall. So you would line it up like this if you're fundamentally a bear. Okay? Once again, if you don't know how to make that decision, I can fix you 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Okay? With solid technical analysis and solid fundamental analysis done for you automatically now, there's absolutely no reason to trade like an amateur ever again. I've solved all of that for you. Huh? It's just whether you choose to accept it. Girl, you got to change your evil trading ways. Yeah. That kind of trouble. No. How's it go? That kind of training leads an account to the grave. Yeah. That kind of trading drives a man. I can't do a Steven Tyler. Lead to his grave. Yeah, I can't even fake it. Trading, baby. Your trading's driving me crazy. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. How does it feel? I am Groot. Yeah. Huh? I am big. Okay. Oh. Look, we got Oscar Mike. Stock market open. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Can Do's jealous. Hey, remember Michael Jackson, Can Do? He'd say something like, "You're just jealous." Oh no, ignorant. You're just ignorant. Yeah, it's so funny being insulted by Michael Jackson. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, look at this. This is all from yesterday. Oscar Mike. Beautiful. Tuliumum. Let's see how the yens are doing, then I guess we'll move on.com. Ooh, strength is maintaining. That's kind of interesting, huh? The strength comes and goes. Wow. Is it the end of the world? Could be, a rabbit, could be. At some point, you got to connect the dots, right? Insert Andrew's pitchfork. Yeah. Is it the big change? Yeah, it could be, huh? Is it over? It might be. It might be. We're on the daily 21, but oy vey, huh? Is it done? This is a thing that you should probably spend this weekend thinking about. Okay? Would you walk into your trading office, let's say you had a team of traders, and you're like, that's it. Yen weakness is over. Okay? You can make a declaration. This was supposed to rise and produce something like that. It rose and collapsed all in the same day. Oh, that's my reminder. I got to go. I got a board meeting. Sorry. I have a board meeting today and I have a board meeting tomorrow. How boarding. I'm like a border collie. And I don't mean surfing. I used to know a CEO that always would, several times a month, he would on his calendar put board meeting, and he would go surfing. But on his business calendar, shared with all the different people in his office, it said board meeting. He's like, "Oh, I'll come in late. I got a board meeting." Yeah. Yeah, and he'd go. So anyways, yeah. So sorry. Anyways, I got to go. But, look, I'm trying to do good in the world, right? So I'm trying to help you as much as I can every single day in all kinds of different ways, tools and service, training, love, support. Sometimes a good old bitch slap helps. Okay? So I try my best, but I also am trying to, help greater society. Since 1991, I've been trying to change the world. Yeah, what a thing, huh? But I can tell you, I've changed some people's worlds. Yeah, so that's a good start. I always say the way that you change your world is start with yours and work your way out. So you start with your personal universe, so you get your shit together, and then the success you achieve starts to take care of people in your inner circle, and then you expand that, and you expand that into your community, into your city, into your state, into your country, and into the greater world. But you can't just change the world. You have to be able to pick where you're going to stand your ground. Right? Richard says you just want to get rich. Well, that was a big focus of mine as a younger man, and having grown up poor. Yes, but you have to realize in the early 90s, when the internet was being built, society then, and I mean society in the Silicon Valley, it was a very small world, and I was very well connected, if you don't mind me saying. And it was an entrepreneur's renaissance. And when you got together with entrepreneurs, and I mean like we'd have barbecues and it'd be dozens of entrepreneurs that I knew, and they were all doing different things. Like I saw Facebook type companies being built in real time back when all that was new and all that kind of stuff. But nobody was in it to get rich. I don't think I met anybody, not even one. I knew hundreds of entrepreneurs. I knew dozens of venture capitalists. I knew dozens of lawyers. I knew probably many dozens, maybe over 100 angel investors. And I never met any single person in the early 90s that was in it for the money. They were changing the world. And it was a beautiful renaissance. It was really, really cool and exciting. And then people started doing it for the money later on in the end. And it was people moving out from other places, moving to the Silicon Valley to get rich, including stupid, dumb investors, right? So it ruined everything. It's the reason it collapsed, because all of a sudden you had liars and cheaters inside the market, right? That kind of stuff. So dumb money ruins everything. But in the beginning, look, you got to do what you got to do. You got to survive. You have to have sustainability. And there's nothing wrong with looking for a financial outcome. But then, you know what? Life gets so much easier down the road when the basic necessities of life are taken care of. Okay? So when the basics, you have a safe home in a reasonable neighborhood, a reliable car, and a business that is stable. It's really interesting how you have to then shift gears where you can struggle for so long just to survive that once you achieve that, it takes a while to kind of like figure out, well, what do you do now? And what most people do is then they try to live rich. And that's kind of where things break down. You see this a lot. So you get a good job and you make lots of money, and then you spend it all. You get a big house, a fancy car, and you live like you're rich, but you're not. Everything's financed and leveraged, right? And so you got a giant mortgage and you lease your car and you're like, but I make $200,000 a year. Yeah, but you live like a millionaire. And that's where most people break down. But so in the beginning, like this is my first Rolex watch I ever bought. And I love it. I still love it. Right? I love it. And it was important to me as a younger man to be at a place in my life where I can buy myself a Rolex watch. There's no doubt. And maybe it's shallow or something, but again, I grew up with literally nothing. I grew up with very modestly. So, in that world, you wouldn't even hear of a Rolex. So I don't know why I did it. And it's cool, and I like it, and it's still good, and it still runs, and it's still beautiful, and it still brings me joy. But, it doesn't mean anything. And then you get a nicer car, so I have a fancy car, whatever, and then all these other things that you try them out. There's nothing wrong with trying them out, a fancy watch, a fancy car, that kind of stuff. And then at the end, it doesn't change anything. And it's nice to be reminded that those things in the beginning that seem unattainable and suddenly they're attainable, they bring joy for a very short amount of time. And then once you get if you have one Rolex watch, you don't need 5. If you get one fancy car, you don't need 5. So you very quickly achieve that, whatever, and you thought it was a goal, and it doesn't matter. It's cool, but it doesn't matter. There's nothing wrong with being cool, but it doesn't matter. And then what you very quickly do is go back to things that matter. And money does help. So to be able to help your kids go to school, help your kids buy a house, help your family members achieve stability or even sobriety, right? Which I've helped people do or tried to help people do. And then you branch out. And so that's why I've worked in nonprofit world for years and years. And those things are much more interesting. And you can talk to anybody with tons of money. I don't have tons of money, but anyone with tons of money, it's the use of money that brings joy and happiness. It's the investing of capital that brings joy and happiness. And if you have tons of money, like no one gives a crap if you have a Rolex watch, because if you had tons of money, everyone could just buy it. There's no achievement. Nobody says, oh my God, you have $100 million in the bank and you bought a Rolex? Or, oh my God, you bought a Ferrari? You're like, dude, I have $100 million in the bank. This Ferrari's nothing. And if everybody had $100 million in the bank, everyone has a Ferrari and it's no big deal. And everyone's like, yeah, well, I got 5 of those. So it's like you get to a very, very quick point where none of it matters. What's impressive is when you are working on a nonprofit and you come to some sort of contribution that you're making, a millionaire and a billionaire says, oh my God, that's really good. That's really impressive. I like that organization. I like the investment that you're making financially and with your time. And they're like impressed. Okay? So when you buy fancy watches or fancy cars, you don't impress wealthy people. Don't think like if you have a Rolex, you're going to raise a lot of money because you're a millionaire just like your millionaires you're raising money from. They don't even care. It's not impressive. In fact, they probably have a Rolex 10 times nicer. So they're like, oh, okay, well, he's got a cheap Rolex. Okay. Right? Instead, it's who your character and your behavior that impresses somebody with lots of money. Because that makes you unique. They have lots of people hitting them up, asking for money. Look, if you had $100 million in the bank, imagine how many people come to you asking for money. Can I have some money? Can I have some money? Can you buy this for me? Can you invest into this for me? Can you donate to this? Can we have your money? 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 So there's very little to impress somebody like that. But on the flip side, your character and your behavior is impressive. Doesn't matter how much money you have. And that's how you win over investors if you're going to raise a fund. Okay? And I know you're a good character. But so many people on YouTube are focused on the wrong things. Right? So, I have a big house. I have a fancy car. I have a great watch. My kids are going to go to university and paid for it. Good. Sweet. Doesn't matter, does it? Well, maybe that I'm an adult and I have responsibilities. Yes. So it's more of a character issue, isn't it? And that's what's important. Right? That's what's supremely important. And so because we're good characters, if you can find your modest level of success with your track record over a modest period of time, 2, 3, 4 years of modest but consistent success, you can show it to somebody with money and say, you can invest into me. But they won't do it because of your results. If your results were unbelievable, they won't invest because it's not believable. If it's modest, like I'm suggesting, well, it's modest. Low risk, consistent reward, but they probably have a lot of other opportunities like that. So they're like, oh, well, that's really interesting. Okay? And maybe it fits their portfolio or not. But why will they make an investment into you and just not buy a new yacht? See, when you raise money, it's going to be a competition, not between you and 5 other Forex traders, because I'll teach you how to trade like nobody else, so you already beat them. But it's the person like they're going to buy another car, they're going to invest into real estate, they're going to buy a bigger boat. Okay? So, what will stand out is you. And they will not invest into you because of your track record. You have to have a good track record, and it has to be believable, consistent, low risk, but not unbelievable because that's high risk. But they will invest into you and not a bigger yacht that's 10 feet bigger. Oh, they want to sell their 65-footer to get a 75-footer? No. They'll give you the money instead because they like you. Because you're good, you're strong, you're reliable, you have character, you have honor, you have discipline, you're reliable. And that makes you unique. And together, we can achieve that. Peace on earth, may the pips be with you, may your profits be above average. Gotta go. Cheers.